What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to breed Pokemon easily in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're going to take all the shortcuts possible because they added a lot of great features in this game that's going to allow us to skip some of the more tedious steps in past Pokemon games. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video. I really appreciate it. Let's begin with breeding 101. So nearly every Pokemon can breed in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The only Pokemon that you cannot breed are the legendary Pokemon. So the Dark Legends, Koraidon and Miraidon cannot breed. Also the Paradox Pokemon also cannot breed. But what if the Pokemon doesn't have a gender like Rotom? They can breed, but only with Dittos. Dittos can breed with any Pokemon that are able to breed. So I actually highly recommend getting yourself a Ditto. If you don't know where to get a Ditto, there's two great ways to get a Ditto. One, you can catch one naturally in the wild. I actually recommend going just south of the normal gym area. And if you run around, you'll eventually find a Ditto. And hanging out around the normal gym area, if you hit ZL on your controller, you'll be able to tell if a Pokemon is a Ditto. Most Dittos are going to be disguised. Funny enough, if you do want to get a shiny Ditto, they're not going to appear shiny on the overworld. It'll actually have shiny sparkles on the transformation, so keep that in mind. And the other way to easily get a Ditto is via raiding. Now, I actually recommend the raiding method because you'll actually be getting better Dittos. The Dittos in the wild you catch, we're gonna have pretty bad IVs, probably not even a single perfect IV if you're lucky. Maybe we get 2 stats perfect, but that's gonna be extremely lucky. If you do raids, like a 5-star raid guarantees you 4 perfect IVs on the Pokemon that you defeat and catch. Ditto is a 5-star raid Pokemon, so you can get 4 perfect IVs very easily, and catches don't fail during raids, so keep that in mind. Now, if you do a 6-star raid, which is unlocked in the post-game quests, you can get a Ditto that has 5 perfect IVs, which is going to be the absolute best Ditto that you're going to most likely get from the game. There are perfect Dittos with 6 IVs, but those are extremely rare, and you're most likely just going to have to settle for the 5 IV, which is honestly perfectly fine at the end of the day. Now to begin breeding. So the first thing you need to do is get the 2 Pokemon that you want to breed in the party. Just only have those 2. So in this case, I'm gonna have my Skeledirge and I'm gonna have a Ditto. And actually in this case, I'm gonna be using a Japanese Ditto because it's gonna actually boost my shiny chances with the Mausda method. The Mausda method is if you breed 2 Pokemon that have 2 different original languages. As you can see, this is a Japanese Ditto and my Skeledirge is an English Skeledirge, which means I'll able to get a additional shiny roll from hatching eggs. So I actually recommend trying to get a Mausda Ditto if you are going to try to hatch your shinies. And there is a current code that you can use in Link Trade. That code right now is 44484448. So type that in. Recommend doing that early in the morning if you're in the US, and then you'll get a lot of people from China or Korea or Japan who are trading their Dittos, and you'll be able to swap your Ditto for theirs and help each other out. To begin breeding, we want to do a picnic just with the 2 Pokemon in our party, right? So all we actually have to do now is sit and wait for eggs to go into this basket. We can check on the basket and it'll tell us if there's any eggs. Unfortunately, there's no eggs right now. And this can take a long time if you don't use an egg power. So I will highly recommend that you create a sandwich. And now we want to make a sandwich that gives us egg power. And egg power will increase the rate eggs are hatching and they spawn in our basket. So we want to actually do egg power level 2. Egg power level 1, I mean, very easy to do, but you might as well do level 2 because level 2 is very easy to create. Level 3 requires Herba Mysticas, not worth it. So we can just make this peanut butter sandwich. Now to get the ingredients for this sandwich, I always recommend going to the Electric Gym City here. And this city has every food item that we're gonna need. We have Delicacio on the south side and also the bakery as well. On the north side, we have the supermarket, and we're also going to have Shuriken. So these are the 4 places. You pretty much just want to buy like 10 of each item. You'll be able to make pretty much any recipe in the entire game. All right, now that we've made our sandwich, which is incredibly fast and easy, we're going to have egg power level 2, which is going to increase the rate of our egg hatching and just egg spawning in the basket too. So now we just want to sit and wait. And you can like walk away from the controller for a bit because this basket will store up to 10 eggs. And it's probably best to have an egg hatching box set up just because eggs will automatically go to your boxes too. So yeah, if you just want to put down the controller for 5 minutes and come back, you can do that, or you can just be very active and see checking. All right, I waited a bit. Let's check what's in here. So we got 1 Pokemon egg, we got 2 Pokemon egg, we got 3 eggs, 4 eggs, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 eggs. So the cool thing about this is I put the 10 eggs in my box now. I could just wait here again. So if you just want to do a massive hunt, you can just like keep your game on while you're working or something. Just come back every like 4 or 5 minutes, get all your 10 eggs, and then, you know, when you're ready to hatch, you can proceed to the next part. So we have 10 eggs to hatch. However, because we have egg power level 2, our eggs will hatch faster. But if you want to make your eggs hatch even faster, you want to have a Pokemon that has the ability Flame Body. Flame Body has a use in combat. It can burn the opponent, but it also has an out of battle use where it reduces the hatch time on your eggs. So the entire Talonflame line gets it, which is pretty chill. Volcarona gets it, Charcadet gets it, and a couple other Pokemon get Flame Body. So try to get a Flame Body Pokemon. I personally think the Talonflame line is the easiest just because you can get them right at the beginning of the game. So what you want to do is put the Flame Body Pokemon first in your party, and then you want to fill up your party with 5 eggs. You can only hatch 5 eggs at a time, but we're going to be going really fast with these hatches because egg power level 2 stacking with Flame Body, these should take about a minute to do 1 full hatch. And if you want a really good place to run around, I recommend going to the Psychic Gym area. You get this whole nice path where no Pokemon are going to spawn in front of you and be really annoying because you don't want to get into a random encounter. It's going to burn a lot of time, and then you're going to have to run away. So you just want to run back and forth here until you get an egg hatch. Of course, you can run around the world, see if you can see other random shiny Pokemon as well too. But personally, if I'm going to focus on egg hatches, I want to just focus on egg hatches and do this. So this should hatch immediately, right? Refor was about to say it. That was super quick. Flame Body and egg power level 2 is insanely fast. And we do have a 1 out of 512 chance of getting a shiny here. But hey, we got a Fuecoco egg. That's pretty sweet. There we go. Now we can actually examine this Fuecoco. And of course, you want to remove the newly hatched Pokemon from your party. And we can actually see its stats. So you can see the stats aren't great on this Fuecoco. I mean, none of them are perfect. It didn't get any of the IVs for my Ditto. Well, there is a reason why to that is because we need to use an item called a Destiny Knot. Now, to get the Destiny Knot, you're going to need to go to Messagoza into the Delibird Present store and go to Battle Items and then pick up the Destiny Knot at the bottom here. It's going to be $20,000. And while we're at it, we're also going to go to the General Goods and we're going to be picking up an Everstone. And Everstone is really useful as an Everstone allows us to pass on the Pokemon's nature. So a Destiny Knot will pass on the IVs and Everstone will pass on the nature. And those are the 2 most important items. Now, what does a Destiny Knot actually do? Well, between 2 Pokemon, there's going to be a total of 12 IV stats because every Pokemon has 6 IVs. A Destiny Knot is going to carry over 5 IVs from that pool of 12 to the egg. And it's going to be random every single time which 5 it's going to pull. But if both Pokemon parents have, let's say, 6 perfect IVs on both ends of the family, then you're going to guarantee the offspring is going to have 5 perfect IVs, and then 1 IV stat is going to be a random number from 0 to 31. So that is how you essentially breed a perfect Pokemon. So you want to have a Destiny Knot. If not, it's going to be pretty much near impossible. One last thing about the Destiny Knot, you cannot carry over Hyper Train stats. So let's say I was going to breed my Ditto Berserker. Berserker would not be able to carry over those 2 Hyper Train stats it has. Instead, it will just carry over whatever the normal IVs were on it. Hyper Training you can do at level 50 for any Pokemon to maximize their stat. It takes a bottle cap to do so. So if you have a bottle cap that you've gotten from 5-star or 6-star raids, you can actually go to this guy right here. He is in the Ghost City Gym and is right across from the Pokemon Center. If you talk to him, he'll ask you, you can bottle cap one of your Pokemon, which is going to be Hyper Training. and you can use regular bottle caps or gold bottle caps to perfect a stat. So let's say for Skelly, I wanted to do that. I can use one of my gold bottle caps or my 9 regular bottle caps. A gold bottle cap will max every stat. A regular bottle cap will just max one of my stats. In that, hyper training aspect also applies to the Everstone. The Everstone will only pass down your original nature. And my Skelly Dirge's original nature is careful, even though I used a mint to change its nature to modest. And that means all of the offspring are going to have a careful nature. So just keep that in mind. In my opinion, Everstones are really not necessary if you don't want to engage with that at all. You can just go to any Chansey supply in the game, and in the Chansey supply store, you can buy mints for 20,000. And you can buy every single mint. You also get mints just from playing the game. They're going to be hidden items on the ground and also from raid rewards. So I'm actually going to say the Everstone's completely optional in my opinion. It's really not necessary. So this time around, we have the Destiny Nut on Ditto, we have the Everstone on Skelly Dirge, and we're going to get some much better IV Fuecocos than the last attempt. Now on the next generation of Fuecocos, we now got a 4 perfect IV one, some with some actually other pretty solid IVs as well, but 4 perfect is gonna be our best. Another 4 perfect right here as well. So we're gonna have a couple of options, and they actually both have different natures. So we could go for one that's minus attack nature, or we could go for one that's plus attack. Of course, we're gonna want to go for the one that's minus attack because it's a Fuecoco, but you can see how we're very easily getting up to that perfect Pokemon now. So now we know how to breed quickly with our Pokemon. We also know how to pass down IVs through generations to get better Pokemon, and how to pass down natures. But how do we actually get egg moves? I totally skipped over egg moves, and that's for a reason. I don't believe in egg moves for breeding because there's a much better way now. So if you go to the water gym area, you're gonna go to the Delibird presence here. And in Delibird presence, we're gonna go to battle items, and we're gonna scroll down until we get to a brand new item called the Mirror Herb. And Mirror Herb is gonna be an item that will let you transfer over egg moves from one Pokemon to another. And they don't even need to be in the same breeding group at all. They just need to have the move, and you just need to know that the other Pokemon can learn that move, which I actually recommend just like Googling that Pokemon egg moves, and then you'll figure out, okay, this Pokemon can learn this. So we have 2 Pokemon in our party. We have an Iron Hands, and Iron Hands has the move Belly Drum. And we're going to pass down the move Belly Drum to our Titan. So to set this up, you need to make sure the Pokemon you're trying to get the move is holding the Mirror Herb and has an open spot on its move set. So to do that, you just hit change moves, and then you're going to do forget a move. So we're going to forget any move. Doesn't really matter because you don't need heart scales in this game. You can get any moves back whenever. So this is completely free. And then we just need to give Titan the Mirror Herb. All right, now Titan is holding the Mirror Herb. So now we just got to do is set up a picnic, just like we were doing before for creating eggs. Set up a picnic, and the 2 Pokemon will just interact with each other. And after a little bit of time, you'll eventually get Belly Drum passed on to this Titan here. All right, it's been about 20 seconds, so let's just pack up and see if it actually works immediately. So let's check this Titan, check the summary, check its moves, and Belly Drum's there. So this seems to probably work immediately, which is awesome. That is sick. And there we have it, guys. That is how you breed perfect Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Teach them egg moves and pass down natures. Now, if you have questions on how to build up your Pokemon with EV training, I have a whole separate guide for that. So definitely check that out as I go in depth on the exact locations, the best methods, the cheapest way to do it, and the fastest way to do it as well. And of course, if you're new to the channel and like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.